the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Chief of Staff Armed Forces of the Philippines visits military patient at VLMC. Commanding General Philippine Army visits 4th Infantry Division, recognizes outstanding units and personnel. BICAM panel approves 2025 budget bill. Malacanang sets signing of 2025 budget. Good day everyone, as well as our troops at Camp Emilio Aguinaldo, Quezon City. Today is Thursday, 12 December, and we will bring you the latest news from the armed forces and other information around the Philippines. In behalf of Rob Suzon, this is Joyce Imbahon for AFP Community News.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the Chief of Staff of Armed Forces of the Philippines, General Romeo S. Browner Jr., visited the military personnel undergoing treatment at the Victoriano Luna Medical Center or VLMC. During the CSAFP's visit, General Browner led a gift-giving activity for approximately 300 patients who are currently confined at VLMC. The visit aimed to uplift the morale of the patients and express the military support for their recovery. Meanwhile, the gift-giving activity is part of the pre-anniversary activities in connection with the 89th AFP anniversary celebration.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the Commanding General of the Philippine Army, Lieutenant General Roy M. Galido, visited the 4th Infantry Division at the 4th ID Headquarters Camp Evangelista, Patag, Cagayan de Oro City. During the CGPA's visit, he recognized the outstanding personnel and units of the 4th ID for their efforts in dismantling and weakening the Communist Terrorist Group or CTG. Highlight of the flag-raising ceremony led by CGPA in 4th ID was the awarding of medals and plaques to deserving personnel, as well as the CGPA Streamer Awards to 4 4ID units. Lieutenant General Galido congratulated and commended the troops for their dedication and commitment to upholding high standards of excellence and their splendid performance in both operational and administrative tasks.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
For other updates, let us hear the details about 801st Infantry Brigade conducts fun bike, fun run, tree planting activities. Go ahead, Beth.
Infantry Brigade conducted the organized a series of team building activities for its troops in celebration of the holiday season. The event themed as Samot Saring Saya ngayong pagdiriwang ng Kapaskuhan at tahanan ng Bantay at Gabay Troopers. Included the fun bike ride, fun run, and tree planting activities. The said event aimed at fostering camaraderie, promoting a physical well-being, and protecting the environment. The activities, which took place within the brigade's headquarters, were joined by the brigade soldiers and their dependents, creating an atmosphere of unity and festivity. This is Bethania reporting for the AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the 53rd Infantry Matapat Battalion received a pump boat in a blessing and turnover ceremony that was held in Barangay Tarakan, Dinas, Zamboanga del Sur. The pump boat turnover aims to strengthen the 53rd IB's operational capabilities, particularly in conducting seaborne operations along the coastal municipalities of the said province. Meanwhile, the ceremony was attended by the key officials of Zamboanga del Sur, led by Governor Vector J.U., Brigadier General Elmer B. Soderio, Philippine Army, the commander of the 102nd Infantry Brigade, Lieutenant Colonel Rolando E. Vargas Jr., commanding officer of the 53rd IB, Zamboanga del Sur Provincial Police Office, as well as commanders from the MILF and MNLF and members of the press.
DWDD Forces News.
And troops from the 801st Infantry Brigade rescued an injured and bleeding driver after crashing his motorcycle. The incident took place near the headquarters of 801st IBDE as personnel from the said unit were returning to the camp after participating in a blood donation activity. The victim, identified as Joel Abanes, a 39-year-old married and a resident in Poblacion 3, Barangay Tenani, Paranas, Samar. Meanwhile, the troops immediately provided aid to the injured driver and transported him to the Rural Health Unit in Paranas, Samar for urgent medical treatment.
DWDD Armed Forces News. Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let us hear more from Gina about the communist terrorist group Remnant dead in Tapas encounter. Gina?
Yes, Jai, a remnant of the communist terrorist group was killed in another encounter in Barangay Takayan, Tapas, Capiz. This was after the troops conducted pursuit operations following an encounter against fleeing CTG remnants on Monday when they encountered approximately 3 members of the dismantled Central Front and Regional Centro de Gravidad, committing Rehiyon Panay in the said barangay. The firefight that ensued for about 10 minutes resulted in the death of Jeril Giganto Katipunan alias Osong or Jason, a member of the RSDG Madya as platoon. Meanwhile, 2 high-powered firearms and 4 explosives were also seized by the 12th Infantry Battalion in an encounter with the same groups on Monday. This is Gina reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Gina.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And the 94th Infantry Battalion deployed its humanitarian assistance disaster response teams to the affected communities following the eruption of Mount Canlaon. 94th IB troops also helped with the repacking of relief goods along with the 542nd Engineer Combat Battalion, 62nd Infantry Battalion, and staff from the Poblacion Elementary School in Bago City. Aside from the repacking of goods, the troops also assisted and distributed 2,000 relief goods in barangays of Ilihan and Mailom. 94th IB Commanding Officer Lieutenant Colonel Zayfred D. Tayaban, Philippine Army, assured the public that the unit will continue to assist, help, and protect the community members amid the Mount Canlaon eruption.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
And for our national news,
DWDD National News.
the Senate and the House of Representatives approved the reconciled version of the 6.352 trillion pesos 2025 national budget bill. This aims to support the plans and programs of the Marcos administration. Senate President Francis Escudero said that they allocated the government's scarce resources according to the president's plan. He explained that the public has given the president a huge mandate to implement his promises, plans, and vision for the country. So it is only right that the members of Congress would allow him to do what he promised.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
Now let us hear a reporter on the ground about 12 Infantry Battalion seizes 2 high-powered guns for explosive in Tapas encounter. Go on for the details, Angel.
Jai, the operating troops from the 12th Infantry Battalion of the Philippine Army seized 2 high-powered firearms, 4 rifle grenades, and other war materials following an encounter with remnants of the communist terrorist group in Barangay Takayan, Tapas, Capiz. The troops were responding to reports about the presence of the armed remnants of the CTG in the area when they encountered more or less 14 combined elements of the dismantled Central Front and Regional Centro de Gravidad of the committing Rehiyon Panay. Captured from the encounter site included an M653 assault rifle, an M16 assault rifle, 4 rifle grenades, 3 magazines for M16 with live ammunition, and 3 backpacks. The 3rd Infantry Spearhead Division's leadership commended the operating troops of the 12 IB for the successful combat operations and urged the remaining members of the armed group to return to the folds of the law.
This is Angel Cruz Camomot reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Angel.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is tentatively scheduled to sign the proposed 6.352 trillion pesos national budget for 2025 next week. Presidential Communications Office Secretary Cesar Chavez said that the chief executive is likely to enact into law the national government spending budget for the next year on December 20 at 9 a.m. Chavez's announcement came after Presidential Legislative Liaison Office Secretary Mark Leandro Mendoza said that the palace was hopeful several of the Marcos administration's priority bills would be enacted into law before Christmas. This includes the 2025 budget.
DWDD National News.
And a total of 370 policemen have been deployed to 5 areas in Negros Occidental affected by the Canlaon volcano eruption. Negros Occidental Police spokesperson Police Captain Wilma Silva said that 64 were from various police stations in the province. They were sent to Bago and La Carlota cities and the towns of Morsha, La Castellana, and Pontevedra. Salva said that 118 were deployed to 25 evacuation centers in 35 affected barangays, while others assisted in evacuations, especially in areas within the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone in coordination with different local disaster risk reduction management offices.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
And we have a report coming in from Bea about Marine Battalion Landing Team 10 commemorated its 35th activation day. Bea?
5th year of dedicated service to the country and the Filipino people. The celebration started with a Holy Mass officiated by Father Kenneth Magay and Father Rick Pagadu and was graced by Brigadier General Bob R. Apostol, Philippine Navy Marines Commander of 4th Marine Brigade, as the guest of honor and speaker. During the event, the MBLT-10 recognized key stakeholders for their support to the unit's mission accomplishment. The MBLT-10 leadership assured the attendees and the public that the unit will remain steadfast in its commitment to serve and support the communities within the province. This is Beatrice reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a Stronger Philippines.
So Music Studio.
Thank you, Bea.
DWDD National News.
Mayor Jose Chubasco Cardenas has prohibited private parties and gatherings within the 6-kilometer permanent danger zone and ordered the suspension of public social activities in Canlaon City, Negros Oriental. This comes as Canlaon Volcano remains under alert level 3. Cardenas noted that the large gatherings, social events, and similar activities can compromise the evacuation process, endanger lives, and divert resources critical for disaster response and emergency management. Establishments found hosting prohibited events or activities shall be penalized in accordance with local ordinance, including potential suspension of permits or licenses.
DWDD National News.
And the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology is looking into expanding the areas covered by the mandatory evacuation near Canlaon Volcano. POGO said Canlaon Volcano has emitted 4,000 tons of sulfur dioxide per day since its explosive eruption on Monday. The agency also logged 30 volcanic earthquakes in the last 24 hours. However, POGO's chief Teresito Bacalcol said it is too early to detect if Canlaon's activity should be raised to alert level 4, which means the volcano can erupt at any moment.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
More updates from Meljoy about 2 91st Infantry Battalion soldiers excel in advanced courses at the Philippine Army Training Command. Melj? Yes, good afternoon. Two outstanding non-commissioned officers from the Philippine Army's 91st Infantry Sinagtala Battalion, based in Barangay Calabuanan, Baler, Aurora, have brought pride to their unit by earning top honors in their respective advanced courses at Camp O'Donnell Capas, Tarlac. Lieutenant Colonel Ares A. Quinto, acting commanding officer of the 91st Infantry Battalion, announced that Sergeant Victor F. Quezana was recognized as the top student in the Adjutant General Service Non-Commissioned Officer Advanced Course Class 54-2024. He added that Sergeant Quezana completed the course without any failing grades in both academic and non-academic events, reflecting his diligence, discipline, and leadership potential. The course was conducted by the Logistics School Provisional Sustainment Center Provisional Training Command Philippine Army from September 16 to December 6, 2024. In addition, Staff Sergeant Nemencio S. Guevara Jr. earned the highest rating on physical fitness test in the Quartermaster Service Non-Commissioned Officer Advanced Course Class 55-2024 with remarkable score of 96.69%. This course was conducted by the Non-Academic Department Sustainment Center Provisional Training Command, Philippine Army during the same period. These accomplishments highlight the 91st Infantry Battalion's unwavering commitment to the professional growth and development of its personnel. This is Meldry Nesho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines. Thank you, Meljoy.
DWDD National News.
Pag-asa weather specialist Rhea Torres said that the country will continue to experience rainy weather in many areas due to three prevailing weather systems, such as northeast monsoon, shear line, and the intertropical convergence zone. Torres said the amihan is currently affecting the northern Luzon and parts of central Luzon, bringing cloudy skies and rains over the eastern sections of northern Luzon. She added that the shear line continues to affect the eastern portions of southern and central Luzon, causing rain in some areas of southern Luzon. Meanwhile, a large part of Visayas and Mindanao is affected by the ITCZ, a weather system where winds from the northern and southern hemispheres converge.
DWDD National News.
And President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has approved the recommendations of the Private Sector Advisory Council to enhance efforts to boost the tourism industry. During their meeting in Malacanang yesterday, Marcos said that PSAC's recommendations were significant initiatives to attract more tourists to the Philippines. One of the PSAC's key recommendations is launching the nationwide shopping festival Philippines to coincide with the upcoming New Year's celebration. This incentivize international visitors, encourages higher spending, and boosts tourism revenue.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
From 1st Civil Relations Group, let us hear from Joanne about the 71st Infantry Battalion launches first indigenous children's trip in Tarlac City. Joanne?
The 71st Infantry Kaibigan Battalion, 7th Infantry Division, Philippine Army brought an early Christmas to indigenous children after successfully launching its first indigenous children's trip on December 8, 2024. Kaibigan Battalion was supported by various government agencies and non-government organizations, where up to 107 indigenous children and their parents from Sitio Padlawin, Barangay Labnay, Mayantok, Tarlac were given the first opportunity to visit and have fun at SM City Tarlac, Tarlac City Plazuela, and other attractions in the city. During a short program, the participants were also given toys, clothes, food packs, and other gifts. The Training Command, Philippine Army, and the 3rd Mechanized Infantry Battalion also collaborated in the said activity. The event was organized by the Kaibigan troopers not only to take them on a tour but also to highlight their education and indigenous culture. It also wants to make them feel that despite the challenges and distance of their community, there are people, organizations, and government agencies ready to provide assistance and support for their development. The partners and stakeholders promise to continue to help the indigenous people communities to improve and develop their community. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Colonel Benny C. Sinca, commanding officer of the 71st Infantry Battalion, expressed his gratitude to those who shared their blessings to make the Lakbay Batang Katutubo a success. This is John Sagaok reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne.
DWDD
And the Bureau of Internal Revenue supports the newly enacted value-added tax refund for non-resident tourist law. BIR Commissioner Romeo Lamagi Jr. said that the Bureau supports the national government's initiative of attracting more international tourists and travelers into the country. He added that the excellent taxpayer service includes the granting of tax refunds to taxpayers allowed by law to receive the same. The government's new tax refund program allows tourists to get back the 12% VAT they paid on goods and services purchased in the Philippines. Purchases must be made in person and at accredited stores taken out of the country within 60 days of purchase and have a minimum value of 3,000 pesos per transaction.
DWDD National News.
And licenses of all remaining Philippine offshore gaming operators or POGO will be revoked by December 15. PAGCOR Chairman and CEO Alejandro Tenco said there will be no more renewal of permits for the subsequent years. For his part, the ILG Secretary Junvic Remulla vowed to run down all underground gaming operators. To recall, President Marcos in his State of the Nation address last July ordered the total ban on POGOs by the end of the year.
DWDD National News. Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear more updates from Leonor about 98th Infantry Battalion joins medical, surgical, and dental mission in Apayao. Leonor?
Troops from 98th Infantry Masinag Battalion joined and participated in the medical, surgical, and dental mission in Barangay Lutuacan, Cabugao, Apayao. Along with the 98th Infantry Battalion troops were personnel from 15th OFIF Mobile Company of the Regional Mobile Force Battalion. The said activity was part of the Project BATSI led by the Apayao Provincial Hospital and the Apayao Provincial Health Office. Meanwhile, the activity aimed to provide medical and dental service to the communities in the far-flung areas. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
And for our final news, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. honored 13 distinguished and outstanding overseas Filipinos and foreign individuals and organizations from 9 countries for bringing pride to the Philippines and Filipinos abroad. During the Presidential Awards for Filipino individuals and organizations overseas awarding ceremony in Malacanang, Marcos highlighted the accomplishments of the awardees in various fields. He cited that their noble works enhance the quality of life in their respective communities. The President also emphasized that their stories continue to inspire them to make a difference and to rise above whatever adversity they face.
DWDD National News.
And that's all for today's broadcast. Thank you for joining us, especially to our audience in our Facebook page, AFP Radio DWDD. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow for more updates, same time, same station. Again, this is Jai Simbahan for AFP Community News, 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rob Susan every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. 1 AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.